This is another installment of the Legacy Project of Atenveldt. In this installment, we will be asking a few questions of Dona Maestra Angela Sara María Díaz de Valdés. Dona Maestra, by your leave, would you please share something significant from your first event?
My first event was Kingdom Arts and Sciences in August of 1988, so I've been doing this almost 30 years now. My brother and I went. Mostly we ended up sitting around watching all the people and things and looking at the costumes and being completely amazed and confused about what was happening. At some point, I'm not exactly sure how, I ended up getting drafted in to be the herald for the Defender of the Arch tournaments for Her Majesty Daphne, which was really quite an honor to get to do that on my very first event. So it was a lot of fun.
Okay. And from your first event, somewhere not long after, you received your AOA. Do you remember that event?
Yes, that was in March of '90. I was actually heralding court for Mark and Jacqueline, and they pulled me out from behind the thrones and gave me my AOA right there in the middle of court. So that was kind of shocking. I wasn't sure how they managed to sneak that through when we were preparing for the court business.
That's very cool. It's always tough to get the herald.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe you can tell us about your first crown tournament. Do you remember that?
First crown tournament. I believe it was held out at Estrella Mountain Park. That was probably the one. Oh, that was it was in Cano. It was the one where we went to become an official group as the Canton of Twin Moons. We were putting our petition before the Crown. It was Thorfinn and Sarah, and we made a big presentation about paying our taxes, and we brought a big chest full of chocolate coins for largesse.
Now, Dona Maestra, you not only are you a defender of the White Scarf and a mistress of... No? You're not a White Scarf?
No, I'm not a White Scarf.
Oh, okay. I saw something up on your arm.
It's a favor from a friend.
Oh, your favor, ma'am. Okay. So then, but you're a double peer in
Yes.
that you're both a Pelican, mistress of the Pelican, and a mistress of the Laurel.
Yes.
So somewhere in there, you probably have autocrated an event.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Got bunches of them. I actually prefer to do Feast of Crats. I've done Feast for upwards of 400 people. The first one I did was Middle East Feast for Twin Moons in 1999. We served, I think, 150 people 5-course Middle Eastern food. So
Wow.
That was amazing.
That was your first feast?
That was my first feast.
Wow. Okay. Well, you've probably served in some officer positions too. I mean, do you remember what the first one might have been?
Founding Herald for the Canton of Twin Moons.
Excellent. Wow. Founding
February
Herald.
of 1989.
That's amazing. And who's that founding Baron and Baroness?
Founding Baron and Baroness, that was Man and Beth.
Man and Beth. The George Washington and Martha Washington of Twin
Yeah.
Moons.
Yeah, they were installed, we became a barony in '92.
Wow. So, okay, what about so not only that was a baronial investiture, that was
Yes.
that was a founding barony investiture.
Yes, that was a full-on, first-time baronial creating a barony. It was amazing.
Was there anything significant out of that you remember? Other than the event
Other
itself?
than the fact that I almost killed myself making the coronets, and we weren't sure they were going to get it finished on time. And there was a little bit of a mix-up with that happened over the years, but we did finally get it all straightened out, and we restored them to their original state.
And those cornets are still used today,
Yes.
aren't they?
Yes, they are.
That's amazing.
Very pleased with them.
So, your personal heraldry, can you tell us what is it? Maybe the blazon, the history, what inspired you to pick those charges?
I am a very late period Spaniard, late 1500s. The Spanish coats of arms are very frequently have the varied or geometric fields. There's a Spanish roll of arms at ASU in the reference section. There's 90 volumes of it. I went through and discovered about 80% of them are red and yellow in some combination, so that's what inspired me for that. I also know that vertical lines are more visible to the human eye and more likely to be seen. And for contrast, I added the towers, masonry, and architecture figure very prominently in Spanish heraldry.
Very cool. So, in all of your service and all of your years, maybe you went to a demo or two. Is there any
Oh,
demo
yes.
that ever stands out that you remember especially?
We did a demo in Scottsdale for a bunch of kids. It was a summer day camp kind of a thing, and they took us out on the field to do all the battle stuff, and once we finished fighting, we were talking about other aspects of the Middle Ages in life, and I talked about how people do, art and music and singing and cooking, and they're like, sing us a song, sing us a song. Well, probably 90% of the songs I know in the SCA are not suitable for children. And I'm like, oh no, that one's got, no, not that one either. This one's in French. And so we got around that by singing them something in another language.
Okay, very cool. Well, if you've been playing for over 30 years, did you go to Australia War One?
5.
Australia War 5.
Yeah, that was my first war, my first Australia war.
Was there anything of all these Australia wars? Because I think we were on like 35 now.
Yeah.
So is there, of all those wars, anything particular that stands out more than anything else?
Oh, God, I don't know. I'm really pleased to have been able to get in armor on the field 26 consecutive years. This year I missed it because I was preparing for a friend's wedding, but I don't know, a war is remarkably special in any case, and so many different things happen at so many different wars that actually I think one of the best things that ever happened to me was I ended up getting stuck in the amphitheater one night at Australia Mountain Park, where they had finally decided to let us start parking up there. And we guided a bunch of people up there in the dark, and then everybody on the security team left me, and I didn't know if I was supposed to follow them. So I'm standing on the edge of the amphitheater, looking out across the entire Australia Park. And there you can see all the fire pits and the lights, and you can hear all of the noise, and it has blended itself together in this amazing susurrus that sounded kind of like a babbling brook. And it was so amazing to stand up there in the dark and listen to that sound come up the mountain from all of those people down there. It was remarkable.
Had your own personal Yehuda moment.
Yeah.
So, okay. You did mention previously your feastocrat. Is there a feast that you were a participant in that you enjoyed, something that is there one particular feast that stands out more than any other?
Well, there was a practice that we used to do, and unfortunately we've kind of killed the feast thing in this kingdom in the last number of years. We're trying to revive some of that, but we don't do a lot of feasts anymore, and we've got to get out of that habit. But I think the Artemisian food fights were probably one of the best things I've ever been exposed to.
Wow. Okay, that would have been something to capture. Can you tell me about someone you met in the SCA that has now grown to be very special to you?
That
A significant friend
would tend
moment.
to be rather a lot of people. I tend to be a very close person. I'm difficult to get to know. It takes me a lot of years before I will let people in. And I've had a number of people who just walked up to me, threw their arms around me, and have stayed in my heart forever. And it's like, okay, that wasn't so bad. And we became pretty fast friends. And there are a number of people that I count myself very fortunate to have worked with and met. Viscountess Rosalind and Viscount Sir Arik are two very dear people. Vicky and Justin, Mistress Morgana, there have been a number of people over the years. Yehuda, miss him dearly.
Okay. Well, Donna Maestra, my last question for you from this list is there any particular award that is more special than any other? Something that perhaps is something more significant than just the award itself? Maybe from who it was presented or the occasion or where it was presented?
Probably my Commander of the Solar Phoenix. The companion and the commander you have to get one before the other, and I already had the companion, which I think Arik and Rosalind gave me at the beginning of their reign. They ended up doing an 11-month reign because they had to change the tournament dates, so it was very long. We were all ready to be done with it by then, and they got me in court again. At one of their final courts, they pulled me out from behind the thrones and had, I believe it was Christoph, come up and read the scroll and everything, and that scroll was made by the late Master Dagon Fenwick. So that's a really precious piece of work that I have.
Okay. Donna Maestra, is there anything else that you would share for the people who view this in the future? Is there a particular memory or something special that you would share to inspire others to follow in your path?
I think one of the most amazing things that ever happened to me was at Potrero War. We used to, a lot of us go over to the May Potrero War, and periodically, because it's only 45 minutes from the coast in the mountains, they get fog at night. And I've been over there, probably out of the 20 or so that I've been to, there's been fog maybe 3 or 4 times, and you couldn't literally see me from you in the fog. And it hides the cars and the porta-johns and all the mundanities. And you see these people wandering around with cloaks and hats and lanterns glowing in the dark and scurrying up and down under the trees in that fog, and the little points of banners and tents and things sticking up. And it really, for an amazing moment in time, makes you believe that you've stepped back. And so it's those moments of magic like that that's what makes the game work.
All right. Donna Maestra, that's everything from the list.
Okay.
And you've shared a personal memory as well. Thank you so much for taking your time to share these memories with us, and for inspiring those others who will view this video in the future, and hopefully find some inspiration and follow in the path.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.